got to get the inside scoop. And Lana Douche is gonna. Sorry, I am not dressed for Lana Douche. Hold on one second. This is better. There I go. Hello, I'm Dana Loesch. Kidding. Okay, here we go. This is the divide between. This is in the description. I have not watched this. The divide within the GOP has never been more apparent, with a handful of Republicans not voting for Kevin McCarthy as Speaker. Even more trouble could brewing. Words hurt sometime when leave face. Could brewing. Dana is joined by Texas Rep. 24th District, Beth Van Duyne. I think that's how you pronounce it, right? Duyne. And if it isn't, that's how I'm pronouncing it from now on. Beth Van Duyne. Hey, from the House floor with updates. Oh, very exciting. So, inside scoop. Tell us what's up. She's got her on the phone. Let's do it.
From the Republic of Texas, who just stepped off the floor momentarily. I think the first time in a century that the speaker bid failed in the first round. Congresswoman, thanks so much for joining us and being flexible with your time. What is the latest here? I heard Byron Donalds was nominated, but apparently he didn't expect it.
No. I saw his face when Chip Roy nominated him, and it was definitely not expected. You had five different folks that Republicans who voted against Kevin McCarthy nominated. It would be good if everybody was on the same page. I mean,
would it? Yeah, Lana Douche. Dana Loesch. I'm sorry, Lana Douche. Yeah.
Right now we're looking at, they just finished up the first round of votes.
Narrator. The next two rounds of votes didn't go even as well as that.
No member has enough to win, so we're going to have
you know what? I think it's just that they're tired of winning. That's what
to go through a
They needed to take a break.
Second round of votes. It may be a long day, it may not be, but
it turned out to be a long day.
It's frustrating. You know, I think.
No, it isn't. It's not frustrating at all, actually. It's kind of hilarious.
After the midterms, so many of us were excited that we were going to win a large majority. When you have
yeah, and you didn't. It's got a squeaker, and your caucus is full of Freedom Caucasians who are just assholes.
Large majority, the people that are in charge are normal, wanting to get things policy-focused Republicans in office. When you've got a narrow majority, you've got the extremes.
Yeah, you're being held hostage by the lunatics. Gotcha.
Are in charge, and that could be that couldn't be more obvious than we're seeing right now. But
right, she's basically taking the coward's way out and describing Matt Gaetz and Lauren Boebert and the rest of those as lunatic assholes holding the whole party hostage. Which, of course, they are. Oh, my mic is popping again? Son of a bitch. What is it? I think I need an update of a software somewhere. It's driving me crazy. I apologize.
I think it's pretty clear from the American people's votes in the midterms that Democrats were not doing the job. They were not.
Yeah, they were. I mean, especially the part where they just have to elect their leaders and get about business. They passed a shit ton of bills. Biden signed 65 before you guys took over. They were doing their job.
They were not leading us in the right direction.
Well, that's a matter of opinion because you're from the other party. But they were definitely leading. If they weren't leading, then what's all that open border bullshit about?
People voted against it.
That just happened organically, I guess?
But I think it also proved that because it wasn't such a large majority that we won by, that the American people are somewhat doubtful that Republicans can lead.
I don't know where they got that idea. Well, at least you put that to bed today. Oh, God.
And it's frustrating that we just want to get the majority back, and we're not leading right now.
Because you can't.
First day back in office.
Because this could go on, talking with Congresswoman Beth Van Duyne, because this could go on.
Excuse me, it's Beth Van Duyne.
I mean, for quite some time. I mean, we were talking about historically, there was a 2-month period when no one was able to determine who was going to be speaker, and that went on for quite a while. And no other business can get done. Correct? I mean, this has to get done before anything else.
No.
You can't.
Yeah. It's almost like working is hard. Yeah. But you're bootstrappers. You know, you guys are all rugged individualists. Maybe, you know what? Maybe you guys vote to pass a rule, nobody for speaker. Government's too big anyways. This is a Republican. Duyne. You know, maybe Rep Van Duyne can put this forward. Just come out and I nominate no speaker whatsoever. I'm part of the Chaos Caucus. The Chaos Caucasians.
You can't get any of the new members or the old members sworn in until a leader has been, until a speaker has been elected. So until a speaker has been elected, business basically stops on the floor.
Wow. And you were, how did you vote on McCarthy? Where do you stand on all of this? I mean, I always think that if you're going to challenge the speaker, you need to have a good substitute. And it seems like the people that I would like are not interested in doing.
Really? They're not interested in herding a bunch of feral cats with rabies and diarrhea.
Where does that leave us?
Well,
it leaves you with a group of self-involved assholes trying to pass themselves off as a political party. That's what it is. Because the nomination and election of Donald Trump created a situation where egomaniacs reign on the right-wing side of things. That is the defining characteristic of what makes you a good Republican now. And that's really a problem when you have to do representative government, which these assholes have no interest in doing, for the record. This kind of, I mean, believe me, Vladimir Putin is masturbating to this chaos and nonsense. It's not ultimately going to affect anything. We passed a shit ton of bills, and including the budget. Shit's going to continue to get done and go forward no matter what. And if Biden had to do everything the rest of what he wants to do through executive order, he could get a good majority of things done.
Well, and that's a good point. I mean,
Wipe off my input jack. The problem is it's not an input jack. This is a USB mic, which is weird. That's why I think it's strange. I'm not quite sure. And wait a minute. See if this makes it better. Does that make it better? Does that do it? Hold on. I might be louder too. Did that fix it?
what was the plan B? And, you know,
What was the plan B? The plan B was Jim fucking Jordan, you dunce.
Talked to members of the Freedom Caucus in great detail about, okay, what's
the Free Dumb Caucus. Well, maybe if they had the kind of dumb you can charge for, it'd be of a higher quality.
your plan B?
Sorry. Okay, I tried to fix it with that, but it didn't work.
And unfortunately, I mean, as you've seen, we've had 4 or 5 different people nominated. Their plan B was all over the board.
Mm-hmm.
And it is frustrating. You know, you look at Kevin McCarthy, who's been very clear that he wanted to make sure that we got the majority. He has raised money. He has fought. He has traveled across the country to be able to bring
Yeah, but because he had to.
that to reality.
That's an exasperated sigh. Enjoy that. Let that soak in.
Voted for McCarthy because quite honestly, there was no plan B. I saw how much work he put in the last 4 years to get the majority back. But more importantly,
yeah, and it had nothing to do with him. If it wasn't for the gerrymandering in 2 states, they wouldn't have had the majority. He would have fucked it up again and overseen 3 cycles of losing power. Literally, that's what put them over the top.
Even that. You've got 220 plus members right now of the Republican conference from different perspectives, from different districts. And you got one guy who has to represent them all, the speaker. But I don't look at necessarily the speaker as the one doing the work. Who is he putting in place of responsibility, power, and influence?
Right. And that's the problem, is that the assholes who want to take over are insisting that they be put in positions of power, and they absolutely in no way deserve it. Believe me, not that anyone in this fucking ridiculous pile of assholes passing itself off as a political party has any business being in charge of anything, but especially not the Lauren Boeberts of the world.
And I see him putting people like James Comer in. I see him putting people like Jim Jordan in. Those very conservative, very headstrong and articulate members who are going to be able to get the job done.
Well, of course he's going to do that. But that's not good enough for the absolute lunatic fringe.
Not to interrupt, but Jim Jordan, he would be head of House Judiciary Committee, and that's Jim Jordan's who you would want to head that. That's a powerful.
Will he finally wear a jacket?
Position.
Yes, and Comer on oversight.
Yeah, that's a powerful position. You can, I'm here to tell you, you can waste a lot of fucking time on that committee.
Because we've got to get down to so many different.
Yeah, draft Herschel Walker. Is that what you're, Patui?
Questions that have not been asked over the last 2 to 4 years. And I think those two members.
What questions have not been asked? If ivermectin is a good Viagra substitute, the fuck are you talking about?
In particular, are very strong and would be the ones to put in those positions. And we've seen McCarthy be willing to work with Freedom Caucus members, bend over backwards. I think the frustrating part of the last couple of weeks.
Well, apparently that's the problem. He's been willing to bend over backwards. They're asking him to bend over forwards. Thank you. Thank you very much.
It wasn't as if the negotiations were going on between two factions. They were going on between 20 individuals.
Oh, that's problematic.
And that was really frustrating for the rest of the Congress.
Last two quick questions for you. If there had been, somebody like a Jordan or even a Chip Roy who were in the position to challenge McCarthy and they actually wanted to do the job, those would be my choices. They don't want to do it, but if they did, would you have supported something like that? And then number two, are we in a period, are we like really facing the threat of having like a interim Democrat kind of lead all of this?
Sorry, just enjoying that statement a little bit too much. I'm sorry. Pardon me. Give me a moment. Don't threaten me with a good time, lady.
That's the big fear that everyone has. Newt Gingrich has been warning everybody.
No. It's not a big fear that I have. It's actually fine.
About this.
So I did not see Jordan did not want it. I did not see Chip make a play for it at all. But what I do know is I've said you've got 220 different voices that all expect to be heard. And
yeah. Unlike, I don't know, homogenous groups like the Voters of America. So you're trying to tell me that Republicans have a hard time listening to and responding to the needs of 220 people. And by the way, isn't it 222? So is she not counting herself and the speaker? Is that what it is? She's on that side of one thing? Oh, shit.
Somebody that has to represent them. And I think having someone who is on the extremes is going to be very difficult to bring the
you think?
Conference together. And when I say extremes, I don't mean just the Freedom Caucus. I mean, you also have your moderate Republican, your left to moderate.
Yes, yeah. Those extremist moderates are always difficult to deal with. Oh, shit. I don't know. Where do you go? Where do you go? The Republican Party is a hall of mirrors. When the moderates are too radical, what the fuck are you talking about?
Republicans who are equally as forceful. And I think you need to have somebody who is a balance.
The moderates are equally as forceful. Why would moderates have to be equal? All right. Because you're giving too much to the radicals and they don't earn the space.
Now, what was your last question?
Are we...
Nobody cares. I mean, she can say it again, but... It's not going to change a fucking thing.
Are we in the territory of maybe perhaps having
A Democrat
Democrat-
being elected?
yes. I don't like your laugh.
Happening.
Yeah. Hakeem Jeffries has more votes than Kevin McCarthy, and McCarthy has the most votes of any Republican. Good night, ding, 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 ding. Good night, ding, ding, ding.
Oh no.
No. I do not see that happening. But you and I both.
Yeah, hey, stupid. You didn't see this coming. You didn't see McCarthy not having the votes coming for months.
Live in Texas, you know how hard it is with the Texas state legislature making deals to get a Republican speaker nominated when they start giving over gavels to Democrats.
Oof.
I do not want to see that. And I'll tell you, that would make me vote against anybody who would be willing to do that. We've already seen it in Texas.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, stupid. In this interim situation, the Democrats would just have more votes for speaker. And if too many Republicans vote present, it changes the balance of how many you need. And if they overshoot by 2 votes, all you need is 212 over 211, and Hakeem Jeffries is Speaker of the fucking House.
Doesn't work.
Yeah, there you go. Right. That's a great point too, because we
No, it isn't.
deal with that all the time in Austin.
Ugh, it's terrible.
Congresswoman Beth Van Duyne, we appreciate you joining
Excuse me. It's Beth Van Duyne.
us, and
Thank you.
we're going to keep watching, see how this all plays out. Thanks.
Yeah, you know why? You know why you're going to keep watching? Because you don't have a choice. Because you have not picked a leader, and it's the first time it's happened in 100 years. Oh my God.